Hello and welcome. Okay, let's be honest. We all have, dozens of online accounts, and trying to manage them feels like a second job. You're always forgetting passwords, you get those scary "your data was breached" emails. It's a huge pain. So today, we're going to pull back the curtain on how we prove we are who we say we are online. We'll look at how it's all changing and what it really means for you and your digital life. All right, let's jump in.
So first things first, let's talk about the one thing we all use every single day. And yeah, the one that probably drives us the craziest: passwords. They're supposed to be this iron gate protecting our stuff, right? But way too often, they're more like a flimsy screen door with a busted lock.
Yeah, this quote it nails it, doesn't it? We've got way too many of them. They're impossible to remember, and we're always being told we're doing it wrong. And you know what? That shared frustration is exactly why the whole system is being completely rethought.
Take a look at this. This is from a real data breach, and it shows you exactly how we think about passwords. Almost 60% of them were just letters or just numbers, not even mixed together. For a hacker, that's not some complex puzzle. That's just easy mode. It's an open invitation.
So how do they actually crack these simple passwords? Well, one of the most common ways is something called a dictionary attack. Here's how it works. An attacker gets their hands on a stolen file of scrambled or hashed passwords from a company that got breached. Then they just run a program that fires millions of common words, phrases, and patterns at it. You know, password 123, I love you. It's all automated. The program just keeps guessing and checking until it gets a match. And for simple passwords, this can take seconds. And then you've got this other classic weak spot, those so-called secret questions. The huge, glaring problem here is that the answers are often not secret at all. They're public information. A famous example of this was Sarah Palin's email getting hacked because the answer to "where did you meet your spouse" was easily findable online. Wasella High. It just goes to show you how these secrets can become a wide-open backdoor into your accounts.
Okay, so it's pretty clear that passwords and secret questions are, frankly, full of holes. This brings up a bigger question. What are the real ideas, the fundamentals, that should be keeping us safe? And that leads us to two core concepts: authentication and authorization. These are the bedrock of real security. Now, these two words, authentication and authorization, they're the absolute pillars of this whole thing, and people mix them up all the time. But it's actually simple. Think of it like this. Authentication is you showing your ID at the front desk of an office building. It proves who you are. Authorization, that's the key card they give you. It defines what you can do, which floors you can go to, which rooms you can open. One proves you're you, the other says where you're allowed to go.
So how do websites and apps actually do that first part, the authentication? Well, they rely on three basic kinds of proof. You can think of them as the three core ingredients. First, there's something you know, like your password or a PIN. Second is something you have, like your phone or a physical security key. And third is something you are. That's your biology, like your fingerprint or your face.
And this is exactly where multi-factor authentication, MFA, comes in. And look, it sounds technical, but it's not. It's just the simple idea of requiring at least two of those different factors to log in. So you use your password, that's something you know, and you get a code sent to your phone, that's something you have. It's that layering that makes it so incredibly strong. Even if a hacker steals your password, they're stuck. They don't have your phone.
Okay, so this is great. We've made our accounts more secure with MFA. But now we have a brand new problem. If every single account needs its own strong password and its own MFA setup, how do we manage all that without just giving up? This is the problem that single sign-on was created to solve.
I mean, this is the question, right? It gets to the heart of the user experience. We can't just pile on more and more security hurdles until the whole system becomes unusable. We need a way to be both secure and efficient.
And the answer, for most of us, is single sign-on, or SSO. You see this constantly. It's that log in with Google or log in with Facebook button. The idea is, instead of making a brand new password for every little app, you use one single, highly secure identity to get into lots of different places. You log in securely one time, and that main account basically vouches for you everywhere else.
Now let's walk through how this actually works, because this is the part people get wrong. When you click Login with Google, you are absolutely not giving that other app your Google password. Never. Look at what's really happening. You approve the login, and then Google sends the app a temporary digital pass. It's called an access token. All that token says is, hey, we've checked this person out, they're legit. The app never, ever sees your actual password.
Look, this whole magic trick is powered by tech standards with nerdy names like OAuth and SAML. You don't need to remember those names. Here's all you need to know. They're basically standardized languages that let different websites and services build a relationship of trust, all on your behalf. And the golden rule is that your secret password is never shared.
So we figured out how to manage passwords better. But what if we could just get rid of them? I mean, completely eliminate them from the equation. That is the incredible promise of the next big thing in our digital identity: passkeys.
So what is the big fundamental difference here? It's this. A password is a shared secret. You know it, and the website's computer knows it. If that computer, that server, gets hacked, the secret is stolen. A passkey is totally different. The real secret, the private key, never ever leaves your phone or your computer. The website only has a public key to verify it. There's no secret on the server for a hacker to steal. It's just not there. Okay, so check out how this works, because it's actually pretty slick. You go to log in, and the website sends your device a unique, one-time-only math problem, a challenge. You use your fingerprint or your face to unlock the passkey on your device. Your device then uses its secret private key to digitally sign the answer to that problem and sends it back. The website uses its public key to check the signature. If it all matches up, you're in. And notice, no password ever traveled across the internet.
The benefits here are just huge. First, it's basically phishing-proof. A passkey that works for the realbankofamerica.com literally cannot work on a scammer's fake website. Second, since there's no big database of passwords on the server, those massive data breaches we hear about become, well, kind of pointless. There's nothing to steal. And maybe best of all, it's simpler for you because it wraps something you have and something you are into one super fast, super secure step.
Okay, so we've gone from passwords to MFA to single sign-on and now to passkeys. Let's finish by just pulling the camera back and seeing how all these different tools fit into the really big picture of how our digital selves are managed.
All of this stuff, everything we've talked about, lives under one big umbrella called Identity and Access Management, or IAM. Think of it as the master security system for a whole company or an entire online service. It's the framework of rules and technologies that make sure the right people can get to the right stuff. Big, powerful systems like Keycloak are designed to run this whole show, handling SSO, user permissions, and all those login flows from one central place.
And the reason all of this technology and all these policies are so incredibly important is to prevent the absolute worst-case scenario, identity theft. This is when an attacker doesn't just get into your Netflix account. It's when they use your name, your social security number, your information to commit fraud, open credit cards, and just wreak havoc on your life.
And if you think this is some rare thing that only happens to other people, get this. A study back in 2018 found that 60 million Americans reported that their identities had been wrongfully acquired. 60 million. That number alone tells you exactly why moving from weak passwords to much stronger systems isn't just a matter of convenience. It's about protecting our entire digital lives.
So, as we stand here on the edge of this passwordless future, it leaves us with a new, fascinating question. Passkeys effectively make our phone the master key to our entire digital kingdom. And while that's an incredible leap forward for security, it also really raises the stakes, doesn't it? Are we ready to put that much trust and that much responsibility into that one single device in our pocket? It's definitely something to think about. Thanks for joining us.